Okay, Jai students, and welcome to another lesson. Sorry for the delay because it takes 4 hours to upload. I already said you. So I hope you have completed the previous lesson. You have updated your notebooks. Please do send me. If you send me, I'll give you +1, and if you don't, you won't get your reward. So yeah, I've already started my evaluations from whatever you have written. I've started my your internal assessments. I've already started. So please do not take it casually. Complete your work daily by daily, little by little, and let us get on with our text. Okay, and today we start a new lesson, and it's from Unit 4 of your Beehive. I hope you have the book by now, and we have already finished previous lessons. Please update them and send me. I still some of you haven't sent, and they haven't even got the marks for it. And those who have sent, congratulations! I have already given you added your marks on your record. So let's start. A truly beautiful mind, as you can see. And do you know who that man is with the beard, with the big mustache, walrus mustache, and the crazy looking hair? Yes, you are right. It is none other than Albert Einstein. You know, one of the geniuses, the true geniuses our world has seen. Albert Einstein. I hope you have heard about Albert Einstein. Yes, he was a great scientist who had even got a Nobel Prize for physics. And this chapter will be on him. It's related to this genius. So let's begin. This chapter is about Albert Einstein. He was a great scientist, as we all know. The title of the chapter, A Truly Beautiful Mind, refers to Albert Einstein. This is a short biography. It's a biography of his where some of his qualities have been highlighted. So it's from his life. That's why it's a biography. Albert's interest in mathematics and physics, and also his humanitarian attribute. So he was humane also. So those qualities will be highlighted. The title, A Truly Beautiful Mind, makes one wonder how a scientist's mind can be so beautiful. It is because in this lesson we come across another aspect of Einstein. He was a humanitarian, means he advocated world peace, non-violence, and that is why the title refers to him as a truly beautiful mind. So he is a man who was not selfish by nature. He wanted the betterment of the world, and he wanted to use science for the service of man. And he was humane also. He wanted correct ethics to be applied in using science for benefit rather than destruction and war. So Albert Einstein, he was born on March 14th, 1879. Does your birthday match with him? Mine's a bit close, but not exactly. So not the year, the month. In the German city of Ulm. So he was born in Germany, and till the age of 2.5 years he could not speak, and when he started speaking he spoke every word twice. So he was a bit of a late bloomer. Like there are some children who speak at a very early age, right from 1 year they can start speaking, and then there are some children who take 2.5, 3, and 4, 5 also. And then there are some children who stammer and stutter. Yeah, they repeat the same word twice, 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 right? So there are such kind of children also, and it is because of different environmental factors, and there may be different reasons for them doing so. Okay, because everyone has a different mind, different personality, different complexity, because humans are very complex creatures. Although we are also a social animal. Now let us see. So his playmates considered to him boring, and his mother thought that he was crazy. Mike. So his playmates means his friends, the children from his own age group didn't play with him. They didn't like him so much because they thought him to be boring, and even his own mother thought he was crazy. Not like Thomas Alva Edison's mother. Okay, um, or Richard E. Bright's mother. Again, there were some scientists who, because of their parents' love, care, and push, they became a scientist. They really got their inner potential out. But it was not the case for Albert Einstein. He didn't get the parental support also. So he really stood up in the face of adversity, we can say, right? And his mother thought him crazy. Why? Because of the abnormally large size of his head. He had a big head, he had a big face. And at school his headmaster regarded him as stupid and good for nothing. So that was a bit demoralizing for any child, to be considered stupid and good for nothing, which the headmaster used to deem him so. But he proved them all wrong. He proved everybody wrong, because really, uh, because he wasn't stupid at all. He was in fact a genius. At the age of 6, at the insistence of his mother, he learned to play the violin, and he became a gifted violinist. Just at the tender age of 6, he started playing violin, and really, it is one of the most difficult instruments, because you need to arc your thing and you need to do all that thing, right? It's very technical and a very classical instrument, and he was really good at it even at that young age. So that proved that he wasn't stupid. In fact, he was a genius, even a musical genius also. Now, at the age of 15, so at the age of 15, they shifted from Ulm to Munich, another city in Germany. He did not feel comfortable with the strict discipline of the school and left it. So he wasn't compatible in the school in which he was studying, because it was a bit too strict and too disciplined, and obviously the other children didn't like him. On completing his schooling, he joined the university at Zurich, because the atmosphere there was more liberal and accepted new ideas and concepts. So he went to study to a university which was more liberal, and which was more modernized. He showed more interest in physics and mathematics. So he had an affinity towards these two subjects. He liked them more, he was interested in them more. So he pursued them. And there in Zurich University, he met a fellow student, and her name was Mileva Marik. At the university, she was equally intelligent and clever. So thus breaking the stereotypes that men are smarter than girls, boys are smarter than girls. It is not the case. You can see that this woman, this girl, Mileva, was equally intelligent and clever like Albert Einstein. Later, later on, they married and had two sons. Okay, they married also later on, but unfortunately, their marriage did not survive, and they divorced in 1919. So that was the sad thing, sad tragedy in his life, that marriage didn't work. They had lot of maybe they had some disagreement and they divorced, even though they had two children. So, after completing his education, Albert worked as a technical expert in the patent office at Bern. Obviously, after education, he started working, and he started working in Bern. Okay, he was the technical expert in the patent office. So, he got a desk job. Here, he worked secretly on his idea of relativity. So, even though he was already working, he started working on his idea, on his concept, the theory of relativity, the idea of relativity even though he was working already there. In 1915, he published his paper on special theory of relativity in 1915. Okay. uh, Followed by the world famous equation E equal to mc square, which I think in your physics chapter you will be studying about it. Energy equal to mass into, yeah, E equal to mc square. Please ask your physics teacher about it. So that is the famous theory that we still apply in physics while doing numerous equations and finding solutions to many problems. Okay. uh, and what else? In 1915 his paper was published on theory of relativity. There's a book also which you can read if you want about it, which gave an absolute new definition to the concept of gravity. Okay. Even though the idea of gravity was found by Newton, but it gave a more definite concept to the idea of concept of gravity. You know gravity, right? What keeps us earthed, means grounded to earth. This theory made him a famous figure. In 1919, during the solar eclipse, his theory came out to be accurate and revolutionized physics. So in 1990, his theory was proved to be accurate, and it brought about a revolution in physics, a big change in physics. In 1933, he emigrated to USA as Nazis has come to power in Germany. So you know it was about the time of the World War One, yeah, and Hitler had all World War Two. Sorry, Hitler was coming to power, and he had the Nazi party, right? So during that time, he evacuated Germany. He means he left Germany and he moved to America because it was much safer there. And as you know, all the Jews were persecuted in Germany that time. So he did not want his finding and research to be used for destruction. That was also one of the things for which he left Germany. He was the first person. Oh, in 1938, when Germany discovered the principle of nuclear fission. Okay, nuclear fission is the process through which the nuclear reaction takes place, which is, you know, the main working process behind the atomic bombs. So when Germany discovered this, he was the first person to write to the American president about the dangers of atomic bombs. He had already informed the American president that time, I guess Franklin Roosevelt. I hope so. Yeah, and he had already written a letter to him. Yeah, Franklin D. Roosevelt. He had already written a letter to him and warned him about the consequences of atomic bombs, because you know what kind of mass scale destruction atomic bombs are capable of. It can really wipe out all the life from entire city and the entire state also, if the atomic bomb is large enough, because it is the most dangerous weapon. Okay. But nowadays even biological weapons like your viruses are also proving equally effective, though not as destructive. So let's see. uh, in 1945, when America dropped the atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, he was deeply hurt and wrote to the United Nations for the formation of world government to prevent recurrence of such destruction. So you know, in the World War II, atomic bombs were dropped on two Japanese cities, port towns, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. because Japan was on the uh, other team, the rival team of the Americans, and they suffered hugely. There was tremendous destruction and loss of life, which can be seen and felt even now, because that entire place has suffered, right from the humans to the animals and plants also. So the whole environment became poisonous and everyone died out there because of those atomic bombs. And this was truly very hurtful. It had a very deep impression in the mind of Albert Einstein, because he had already explained the dangers of atomic bombs. And the fact is that even now there are defective babies born in Japan, in these two places, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, because due to the after effects of the atomic bombs. So really the effect hasn't subsided till now, which was done, so many years back, decades back. So he wrote to the United Nations, the UN, where he asked that there should be a certain steps taken by the world governments to prevent such repetition of use of atomic bombs, and it should not be allowed. He spent his later days in politics advocating world peace and democracy. He died at the age of 76 in the year 1955. So he died at the age of 76 in the year 1955. And one point we missed out is that in 1921 he received the Nobel Prize for Physics because of his theory of relativity. And that is the highest prize, one of the highest honors in the field of physics, art. So Nobel Prize is one of the highest prizes in the world, which is accepted globally. Okay, so this is a short biography from the life of Albert Einstein in this text, A Truly Beautiful Mind. With that, we have completed our general discussion and synopsis of the text, but your work doesn't end now, doesn't end. Rather, I want you to go through the text line by line, understand the chapter, watch this lesson again if you haven't, and do call me up or comment below on which section and which portion you didn't understand, and I will be happy to explain you. And then you have to solve the exercise as you have been doing, and also write a 200 words summary like every time, and send me a snapshot of it in my WhatsApp number. Thank you, students. Keep watching, like the video if you have understood, so that YouTube will send you more educational videos. And do come back again for the next chapter, where we will discuss some question answers of this chapter. Okay, thank you, students. Jai Hind.